Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said public institutions and the private sector working together can help developing economies to recover from the pandemic and catch up growth. He also emphasized on the need for a social contract between the government, private sector and broad civic society that allows creation of harmony to navigate changes together. Having grown up as a son of an Indian civil servant, I think quite a bit about public sector and also the institutional strengths of our public sector institutions is so important. How do we get the public sector to the efficient frontier of even technology use? And this is where I think some of the work that's happening in India, whether it is the IT system or the banking API or the payment API. So it's pretty enlightening, Nadella said during the FICCI's annual general meeting AGM, and he also added that there is a need to ensure that the public sector is being supported in their modernization. Nadella said public-private partnership is helping adopt changes and bring about more ubiquity to that change, which is going to be very important. That's the one way for developing economies to be able to recover from the pandemic. But more importantly, when we have talked about catch-up growth, I think in the next 10 years, catch-up growth is possible when both public institutions and the private sector are able to move rapidly, and that too together. He also added this in his statement. The Indian-born executive said technology has played a critical role during the pandemic across sectors and has expanded from just driving future transformation to being at the core of business continuity. The ability to use digital tools to be able to deal with the tail event, because we can't predict what's the next tail event is, but whatever that is, I think our built-in infrastructure and capability around digital tech is going to create resilience and transformation, he added. That is the most exciting thing to see, Nadella said. He also cited the examples of telemedicine, which has been around, but the adoption has accelerated amid the coronavirus pandemic, and how even small retailers are turning to technology to drive their business and help in the growth of their own business. Now, Nadella highlighted the innovation in India around digital infrastructure across fields from financial services to healthcare to retail that are driven by factors like availability of computing, use of AI, that is artificial intelligence and data capabilities, and ubiquity of mobile phones. I think the exponential adoption of these three layers is going to change. And so the question is, what is that social contract we have between the government, the private sector and the citizens and the broad civic society, he added, that allows us to create that harmony to navigate this change together, because if any one of us is changing and the others are being left behind, that's going to create more turmoil, he said. Nadella said an important factor would be how everybody is brought together to navigate this exponential curves. Talking about navigating through challenges, he said it is important to keep in mind the sense of purpose and the mission of organizations and the culture. Once you have that, you have to get a lot of things right, but your chances of getting all those other things right, like strategies and tech picking and people picking, becomes so much more easier with these two pillars, he also added to his statement. He said the leaders have three key attributes: an innate capability of coming into ambiguous, uncertain situations and creating clarity, creating energy not just within their teams but overall, and not waiting for the perfection pitch. I can't say, hey look, I will perform after the pandemic is done. I mean, you and I and everyone in the room have to keep working in spite of what the world throws at us. And that's the ability to solve sometimes the over-constrained problems is what called as leadership and is all about and driving success, he further said into his statement.